sometimes good science just doesn't brief well. And good science does not an opinion make. I have no opinion on whether the quarry is a good idea or a bad idea, but I have an excellent idea about the science of blasting and its effect on the dam. My main priority is number one, the safety of this wonderful structure known as Old Hickory, and the safety of those who are affected by this project. Nobody knows this lock and dam system better than the people who have spent 30 and 40 years of their life that are dedicated to running it. Nobody wants to see this property damaged. And I promise you that it will not be damaged. Now, we've looked at the proposed operation of the quarry. Again, it's not my judgment to say whether it's a good idea or a bad idea in this neighborhood. And I have no opinion on that matter. But if you ask me, under the parameters the quarry has decided to operate under, will it affect this structure? The answer is no. And I will not agree to the quarry operating at any parameters that would damage this structure. You know, we put sensing equipment on all of our locks and dams. Piezometers is what we call it. It detects moisture moving up through the earth. It's like a little check engine light on your car. All right, we have them on this structure, and if this quarry goes forward and operates, we've said we'll put more on there to see if there's any damage that is being caused. And we don't think there will be damage, but if there is, we'll make sure it's stopped. You know, blasting next to a dam is not an uncommon thing. If you go down the road to Kentucky Lock and Lake, we're blasting right next to our dam, but we do it safely. So I'm not saying it's a good or a bad thing to do here, but it's not uncommon. We've done worst case blast modeling. And with that modeling, and I would invite everybody to go to Nashville's homepage and read the technical paper that we used to provide this initial assessment. If there was any potential damage to this structure, I would seek to use my authorities to stop it from operating. But because our analysis showed there is no danger of damage to this structure, I don't have federal authority to stop this because it's on private land. If I owned the land, I could stop their activities, but I don't. So my message to you, and I am more than willing to answer questions, and I also have other technical experts here to do it, that we will make sure that this lock and dam stays safe.
We have examples of where shot rock and blasting have gone astray, but we're saying if it doesn't go astray, we're going to be just fine. I was so excited to hear that the general was coming here for a fact-finding mission. This morning when I got up and read that editorial, this was already predestined. I'm not sure really what we're doing here today, besides the general telling us there's nothing to worry about. Just like they told us 6 years ago when we flooded downtown Nashville and downstream. This is the same crew that said there was nothing to worry about at that time. But there is something to worry about. They said that downtown flooded because they could not get a hold of the National Weather System. Could they not look at a television and see what we all saw when we saw the portables floating, school portables, floating down I-24 and going toward Hickory Hollow? We knew it was flooding, but they didn't know it was flooding. And we're supposed to trust what they tell us today. Ladies and gentlemen, let's save Middle Tennessee.
You have state, you have municipal laws and ordinances to stop those things from happening in terms of fly rock and nuisance to the neighborhoods. That is not my jurisdiction. I will do my job to the fullest of my ability, and I suspect that your state leaders and municipal leaders will do the same.
And with all due respect to the general, there seems to be a disagreement within the Army Corps of Engineers itself. Because just recently, outside of Dallas, Texas, at the Joe Pool Dam, they have not only banned oil and gas drilling within 3,000 feet of the earthen dam there, they extended that prohibition to 4,000 feet because they were so worried about the structure. And they don't allow deep well injection of water waste there within 5 miles. So Obviously, that affects the development of private property in the state of Texas, and Lord knows Texas loves drilling. Drilling is about a 5-inch hole next to a dam. This is a 5-acre or 50-acre or 155-acre hole next to a dam. So we can't understand why there's such a different treatment within the Army Corps of Engineers itself as we speak. This Section 408 authority doesn't just talk about modifying a concrete structure. The Corps has responsibilities, if you listen closely to the general, to the whole complex here, which includes the concrete dam, the earthen dam, and the recreation area. These are all federal responsibilities, and the general knows that he needs to take them seriously. So we're hoping to persuade them to do a Section 408 study here so that the interests of the Corps and the interests of the American people, and the interests of Tennesseans can be protected. So this is more than a bureaucratic dispute. We can figure this out. We must figure it out today. And I think we can all learn something today, despite the fact that I've already written a column and the general's already written a column. Let's get to the real facts here and understand why Texas is so worried about 5-inch holes when we're about to ignore a 5-acre or 50-acre hole right next to our earthen dam.